Hi, I'm Kristi Simpson with KristiSimpson.net, and today we're going to learn how to crochet 60-minute slippers, and really it might not even take that long. We will be using a number 5 bulky yarn. I use Cascade Pacific Chunky and a 5mm crochet hook. With this combination you will be able to create an easy pair of slippers. If you're a beginner, don't be intimidated. Give it a shot and we'll get started. We're going to start with a slip knot with the 5mm hook, and we want to use a smaller hook instead of a larger one so that the stitches are pulled tighter. So let's start with a chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this first chain we're going to place 10 double crochet. Now the chain will stretch out and allow all of the 10 stitches to fit in there. So just keep going. That's 2. We will not count this first part right here. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8, 9, 10. Now we will slip stitch to the first stitch, not that chain space, to join. And that will give you 10 stitches. Now I chose to work with this variegated yarn, the Pacific Chunky, because it does not have long striping. It's very short, so with crochet it changes very rapidly. So you won't have a color change in your joins like you would with other yarns. So this is a good variegated to work with. So next you will chain 2, and we will place 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So since we have 10 stitches for the first round, we will have 20 stitches for the second round. And that chain 2 will not count as a stitch, it just helps create a smooth join. So 2 in each of these. And when we get to the end, we will slip stitch to the first double crochet stitch instead of that chain, so it will be smooth. Let's see, one more stitch here. Let's put 2 in it, and then let's join. Now for round 3, we are going to chain 2, and then we will double crochet 3 and then 2 in the next. We don't want to add as many stitches here, or else the toe will just end up being huge and won't fit your foot. So let's just do a little bit of an increase, and then we will have a total of 25 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then we'll place 2 in this next stitch. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the next. And let's just continue to repeat that around. Now if you've never tried slippers, this is the pair to try, because you're working with a bulky yarn, so it's not only going to work it fast, but it's going to be cushy and a lot softer than, say, regular yarn, so it'll be fun to wear and make. So let's see, we've got the 1, 2, 3 and the 2 here. 1, 2, 3, and 2 here. And let's make sure here we've done that correctly, just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 2. So we're good. And then 1, 2, 3, and 2. Okay, then slip stitch to the first stitch. Now for round 4 through 11, you will chain 2 and then just double crochet in each stitch and then slip stitch to that first stitch like we've been doing to join every round. So why don't you go ahead and finish 4 through 11 and then join me back here and we will work the heel and the edging. Now that you've finished round 11, let's start with the heel, which is round 12. And what we will do is we will work back and forth to create the heel and then we'll decrease a little bit and I'll show you how. So let's get started. So what we'll do is chain 2 and then we're going to double crochet 18. Now I put the same double crochet in that same stitch and don't count the chain 2 and I'll show you how to work back in it and make sure it lines up evenly as we come back to it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, just a few more, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now, as you can see, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches that are unworked. And this will be the top of your foot where you will enter your foot and we will work around it for the edging. So what we're going to do now is chain 2 and turn. And this will make row 13. And row 13, 14, and 15 will be the same thing, but I'll work through them with you. So double crochet in that same stitch. And let's double crochet to the end. Now I used to be intimidated by working slippers, but when you break it down and you start off with a simple pattern, it really does make a difference. So make sure you find an easy pattern, learn the concept, and then you can move on to more difficult designs, but this is a great beginner slipper pattern. Okay, we're getting closer to the end here. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more stitches because we're not counting that chain 2. Okay, now whenever you get to this last stitch, instead of working in the stitch here, go in between the chain 2 and the double crochet. So yarn over, just work in that space, yarn over and pull back through. You see how it's right there in between? And then complete your stitch. So now it will still give you an even seam, but it won't look like there's a space in between the first and second stitch. So it kind of helps make it look a little bit better. So chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch. Now just know that if you do double crochet in that first double crochet and in the last chain 2, you will end up with an extra stitch. So make sure you count your stitches as you go. So double crochet in each one. This is row 14. And I know we went from rounds to rows, but we'll just continue counting in that same order so we don't lose our place. Okay, we're almost to the end here and we'll do the same thing. We'll work between the chain 2 and the double crochet stitch to finish up this row. Okay, so this would be the last stitch here, but if you don't work in that, that will leave this chain off on the edge and it will be uneven. So just work in between the chain and the stitch and it will be even. See? Okay, one more time and this will create the part that goes under your foot, under your heel. Now when we finish with this one, I'll show you before we do it what we're going to do, and it'll help you understand why we decrease in the center. Okay, we're getting there. And see, like I said, these just do not take long at all. So it's called 60-minute slippers, but you may be finished before then. Okay, and here is that double crochet in between first stitch and chain. Now, let me show you. On this slipper, we have worked from row 1 to here, and we've worked back and forth for this section. And now what we're going to do is decrease here, because if you don't, you're going to have a point like this whenever you seam it. So whenever you decrease, it helps round it like the natural look of your heel. So we're going to take two rows and decrease. So what we need to do is chain 2, turn, double crochet 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we will double crochet decrease, or some people may say double crochet 2 together. Either way, we're going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull back through. And then you'll yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only. Keep these 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Now you have 3. Yarn over, pull through all 3. And that is taking 2 stitches and joining them together. And the reason we use double crochet is because it is the same height as the rest of your stitches. So let's do that 3 more times. Yarn over, insert in the next hook, yarn over, pull back through, then yarn over and pull through all 3. And this is helping create that curve in the heel. Okay, this is the last one because we needed to do 4. So you can see how these 4 have joined together. So we've taken 4 stitches out of the heel basically. And then now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to double crochet. And we will work right into the next row, and we will chain 2 and turn. Now double crochet 3. So this is 1, 2, 3. Then you will double crochet 2 together or decrease. So that's our 3. 4 times again. So 1, get some more yarn here. 2, 3, and then 4. And you should have 3 stitches left. See, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. For the next one, row 18, this is where we will start around the top for the edging. So what we're going to do is just slip stitch. I'm going to kind of turn it wrong side out. Slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, and that joins it. It will leave a hole here, but we will sew that together whenever we finish the edging, okay? So chain 2, and what we will do is use the ends of the rows as stitches here, and we will place 2 double crochet in the ends of these rows, and there's 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that should give you 12 stitches on this side. So we're chain 2 there. We're not going to count it as a stitch. So double crochet, and I'm just using that last stitch here, that last double crochet, as my stitches. So I'm just working around it right here. So 2 in this one, 2 in this one, and we have 3 more rows to go. 2, 2, and then 2 in this one. And then since we had 7 unworked stitches across the foot here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is in this stitch, so we're not going to be using it. So double crochet 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now just like the first side, we're going to use the ends of the rows as your stitch. So place 2 double crochet in each end of the row, and you will have 12 here. So it should be 12, 7, and then 12 for a total of 31 stitches. Okay, so that was 2, 2, 2 here. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3 more rows to go. And we're almost finished, believe it or not. I told you these would be quick. Okay. So once you finish with this one, slip stitch to the first stitch, not the chain 2. Okay. So this is the first stitch, slip stitch to this one. Then you're going to chain 1. Skip 2 stitches and 5 double crochet in the next, okay? So skip, skip, 5 double crochet here. And this is the shell edging that's around the top. And we will repeat this around and then we'll be done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get some more yarn here. Working with bulky yarn, it goes fast. Okay, 5. Okay, you're gonna skip 2. 1, 2, slip stitch in the next. Okay, so that makes it have a little bit of a shell look right there. Let's go, so skip 2 and 5 in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2 and slip stitch. Skip 2 and 5 double crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2 and slip stitch in the next. And like I said, you'll just repeat that all the way around and we're almost finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, slip stitch, skip 2, and this will be our last shell here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. skip 2, slip stitch here, and then I just skip 2 and slip stitch in the next one. So that just brings it back together. So then what you need to do is take and cut a long piece off there. And you can go ahead and just pull through that last slip stitch. Now remember, you have the open hole here. This is where we fix it. All you do is take your yarn needle or your hook and you're just going to sew it together. Now you can use the invisible stitch, the mattress stitch, whip stitch, anything you want, but it's just going to be on the back. You're not going to see it. So what I'm going to do is use the inside loops of the stitch here and just slip stitch it together. Okay, and then you will cut this and weave in your ends in the toe and on the back, and when you're finished, since it's variegated yarn, you won't even be able to see your join. So now we have completed 1 of 2 of your slippers, and all you have to do is just start from the toe and work to the end. Again, just rounds 1 through, how many of there were? I think 19. Or 20, and that's it. Some shoes, some slippers do call for more, but all you have to do is use your same gauge. Don't pull it tighter, don't be looser, and just work, follow your instructions, and you can complete an easy pair of slippers. I told you that these would be so easy to create. By working from the toe to the heel and adding an edging, they were so easy and fast. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you will join me back here for more crochet pattern videos.